Good morning. Papa Bear back with another gear video for my PCT through hike. I've got about 8 days before I step foot on trail. In this one, I'm going to go through all the electronics that I'm taking on my through hike. A lot of these are things that I've used in the past that have worked really well for me. Some things are new. So I will get into it. So this is the bag I keep all of my electronics in. It's a Hill Sound dry bag, so everything fits in here. It stays nice and dry. Most of the times I have my electronics inside my pack liner, but sometimes I'll keep it on top of the pack if I need to use anything throughout the day. So that's where everything goes. The camera I'm taking is what I'm filming with now. It's an iPhone 15 Pro. I haven't used a phone to do videos on my hikes except for some short hikes since I did my first through hike, the Vermont Long Trail. But I wasn't that happy with the footage I got out of my GoPro on the Sheltowee Trace Trail. I'm not sure if it was the settings, but I figured I would go back to the iPhone. I think it's going to be a lot more convenient, and it's really going to streamline my workflow. Basically, my workflow for my videos is, shoot the videos and pictures on the phone, and then when I get to camp, I create a separate album for each episode I do. So in this case, for each section, and then I take all the clips and photos from that day and section. I throw them into an album, so when I go into edit them, I have everything in one place. When I do it with the GoPro, then I have to download all the footage, so it adds an extra step. So that it will also help me be more efficient on trail. The battery bank I'm taking, or battery banks. So this is the Nightcore NB Carbo 20,000. It's a 20,000 milliamp battery. I took this one on the Sheltowee Trace, and it worked really good. Using my GoPro, this got me like 6 days on trail. So since I'm using my phone for video, which will take up more battery, I'm taking 2 of these battery banks, which is a lot of battery. It's the most battery I've used on any of my hikes. So I have like 40,000 milliamp of battery. I estimate this is going to get me in the neighborhood of like 8 to 9 days on trail. So that's the battery bank I'm going with. To go with that, I got the Moken, I think it's a Moken wall charger. It has it's a dual USBC charger. This only has it's like a 40 watt, but my battery banks, to charge them, it only takes an 18 watt of input of power. So this will work for the battery banks that I'm taking. The battery banks I've also used, it has pass-through charging, so as it's charging with the USB-C, I can still use the USB-A, although that does slow the charge of the battery bank itself. But should be fine if I'm spending the night in town. Cables, I'm still torn on this one, but I have 2 3-foot Anchor USB-C cables on both ends. So I'm taking those. Those will basically charge all the devices I need. I'll use those to charge my battery banks too. And then I'm also taking 2 cords. On one end's the USB-C, the other end's USB-A. That way I can completely utilize charging my battery banks using both ports. I can charge up to 4 devices at once with that. And then I also have like an assortment of like different adapters. So I got one adapter, which this is a micro USB, which I need that for my headlamp. So it goes USB-C to the micro. I have one where it's converts from USB-A to USB-C. I'm taking 2 for my watch because on my last through hike, one of these broke, so I want to have a backup, like the little tip broke. So this is to charge my watch that I'm taking. And then I got one adapter. It's a USB-C to the lightning cable. This is going to be used to charge my Earpods. So that's the assortment of adapters that I'm taking. Earpods, last time I just took a really lightweight pair of, they were wireless, but it was, they kind of wrapped around your neck, which got really annoying, and they always fell out of my ear. So I'm going with the Apple Earpods. I think this is the 2nd generation of them, but I really like the idea of this because I can just use one of these at a time to kind of like double the amount of battery life I get out of them. And these are really convenient just to pop in the ear if I want to listen to music on trail, or I use it for my video editing, or talking on the phone with my wife, which as long as I have coverage, we usually talk about once a day. So I'm happy to take these. I think it will just a convenience. My headlamp I'm taking. This is the Nightcore NU25. This is going on every single backpacking trip. I've got well over 4,000 miles use out of this, and it still works really good. The cord used to be more yellow, now it's more turning brown. But this headlamp has worked really good for me, so that's going. Then my tripod I'm taking, I'll put a picture up because you can't see it, but it's a Ulanzi tripod. I've used this Ulanzi tripod on again every backpacking trip that I've done. The only thing I don't like about it is the base of the tripod isn't as wide as I would like it to be. And then something new that I picked up. So in my last gear video I had mentioned I picked up, actually my wife and kids got these for Christmas for me. These are the Black Diamond Alpine carbon cork trekking poles that has like a 1/4 inch thread on the top. And so I got this adapter, which I don't know how much I'm going to use it, so this might be an item I end up sending home. But basically this is a 1/4 inch screw that goes down into the trekking pole, is screwed in there, and it basically creates a big selfie stick. So that's something new I'm trying out. I've tested out a few times. Not sure how long I'm going to keep that on me. And then my last piece of electronic is my Garmin InReach Mini 2. This has worked great. Huge improvement on the InReach Mini 2 battery life over the first version of these. So I'm taking that. I'll use this, if I get in trouble. It has a SOS feature that basically calls search and rescue, or it puts you in communication with them. That I use it to message my wife. I send her a message every morning to let her know I'm starting. When I get to camp, I'll let her know I got to camp okay. It also comes with a companion iPhone app for navigation. So I'll go over, I guess, the apps that I'll use for navigation. Garmin has one, so I've uploaded all of the there's the GPS. Basically the GPS track, or really the points of interest, different waypoints for the PCT into my Garmin app. So I'll use that mainly if I need to find like an alternate route in any particular location. I've also uploaded the same GPS coordinates into the Gaia GPS application. I've found in some cases that Gaia has richer information than what the Garmin app does. But my main source of navigation, I'll be using what most people use, which is the Far Out application. The Far Out app for the iPhone. It's great. It shows you where all the different water sources are at. It's kind of has a social aspect where people can leave comments with different information about the water, or if they stayed someplace. You can basically put comments in the app, but I use that for my main source of navigation. And then I guess the last thing is my video editing. I'm using the same thing that I've used for the past few years on these thru hikes. It's the KineMaster video editor for iPhone. It's worked great over the years, and I'm really familiar with it, so I'm gonna stick with that. But yeah, that's all of my electronics, so thanks for checking us out. I hope you all have a good day.